Congratulations. If you're watching this video, you have decided that you want more from life. You have decided that you will no longer settle for mediocrity, and you want to be so far away from the average man, you can't even see him anymore. And I commend you for that. Now, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, it's just a matter of fact, the path that you now have to take is going to be lonely. Because to be the kind of successful person that we want to become, we can't be surrounded by averageness any longer. We can't allow the average man to influence our minds. We all know, you've heard it time and time again, we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. That means if you have any average friends, you can't adopt their way of thinking any longer. You need to kind of cut them off. If you're not prepared to do that, then you're not prepared to be a success. And that's fine. If you're not willing to pay that price, no one expects you to. Nobody else is willing to pay it. That is why most people are average. That is the definition of average. What most people are not willing to do means the majority of people are going to stay in that situation. You're going to have to ignore criticism, what family members say. You're going to be ostracized, mocked by old friends, and you're going to have to totally ignore all of the negativity and not allow it to influence your mind. You can't allow their seeds of doubt that are holding them back to hold you back. They don't believe in themselves, so they are not going to believe in you. They might say that they're your friends, but they don't truly want to see. No one wants to see someone else doing better than them. It makes them feel bad about themselves. It makes them feel like they're not trying hard enough. But that shouldn't be of your concern. If they're not trying hard enough, they shouldn't put that onto you. That's not your fault. You need to do what you can. Just don't allow any negativity to influence your mind. It's the chicken and the eagle. There's an eagle's egg. You might have heard this parable before, but I'm going to tell you all once again. There was an eagle that went into a chicken coop, an eagle's egg that went into a chicken coop, and the eagle hatched from the egg amongst the chickens, and it grew up and it watched what the chickens did. They're clucking at shit on the ground, they're walking around in dirt, eating worms and bugs like dirty chickens do. The chickens do the pathetic fly where they flap the wings 3 times and it's just a fancy jump. They're not really going anywhere. They can't escape. Pathetic. And the eagle does the same because he's surrounded by chickens. It's all he knows. He's been brought up around these chickens. He's adopted the chickens' way of thinking. He doesn't see himself as being any different than what he's surrounded by because that's just his environment. You are a product of your environment. So every day he's living life as a chicken, eating shit off the floor, worms and bugs and dirty, and surrounded by these limitations are being planted on his mind every single day because he's surrounded by this nothingness. And one day this eagle looks up into the sky and he sees this majestic bird flying through the air, and he's looking at it with complete awe. And he looks to one of the other chickens and he goes, "What is that?" And the chicken answers him. He goes, "That is an eagle. That is the bird of the air. We are the bird of the floor. We are the bird of the ground. We can't go anywhere. That is an eagle. That is the best." And the eagle, the chicken looks back down and starts clucking at shit on the floor again. The eagle looks up and he goes to bed that night, and he wakes up in the morning, he looks up again, there's an eagle. Goes to bed that night, wakes up, looks in the air, eagle. Every single day he's looking up at this majestic bird, and he's got this burning desire to have what this eagle has, to be a bird of the air. So this eagle has to teach himself to fly. To discover that he's an eagle, he has to teach himself, because the people around him, the chickens around him, aren't going to help him. They don't know how to do what he wants to do. So he's going to have to teach himself. And then One day he plucks up the courage, he practices over and over again, he persists, he knows he's destined for more, he knows he can do it. The other chickens around him are just going about their business, but this eagle, he knows within his soul he can get up there, and he does. He finally does it. He keeps trying and trying again, he does it. He gets up there, he's broke free, gravity is no longer holding him down, and he gets up to the other eagle, and he can communicate with the other eagle, and they can share there. And once he's up there, and they both, the other eagle can then train him to hunt prey, and not eat worms and bugs off the floor anymore, and but he has to get up to where the eagle is first. You have to know, you have to have this burning desire inside that you are not a chicken. You are not an average man. You aren't being held down by all these average people around you. You know that you can be successful. Everyone else thinks it's impossible, but we know that we can do it if we persist. We're not like these people. We're destined for more. It's a lonely path to begin with until you are able to get up into the sky and communicate amongst the other eagles. But you have to be worthy first. You have to get up there. The eagle isn't going to come down into the chicken coop and try and find the eagle amongst the chickens. The eagle has to first get up there, and then the eagle know, okay, this eagle knows he's an eagle. And that's how we have to be. So before we can get to that higher level and speak to people that are up here, we need to get on their wavelength. We need to stop subscribing to the idea that you just do this paycheck to paycheck all the time, every day, never wanting more, never wanting to create your own value. My own grandmother, your own family might ostracize you and mock you. They might do it jokingly. They might do it not to make fun of you, but because they think it's funny or lighthearted, humorous. They don't realise how much of an impact it can actually have and hold you back. My own grandmother, I remember, I'm 6 months into this journey now of deciding to think for myself instead of allowing these average people to have an impact on my mind. My own grandmother came to my house. I had the longest conversation I'd had in a long time with anybody because I hadn't been speaking to other people. I'd been trying to think for myself, so I didn't want to be influenced by others. I didn't want to be surrounded by mediocrity. I just no longer want to be associated with it. But I had the longest conversation with her. She was sat down on my sofa, and at some point she'd noticed that I'd cut out a lot and that I was just focusing and trying to accomplish something. And she said, "Why are you doing this?" Because I don't go on social media, but my grandmother does, and she went onto Instagram and she was following one of my old friends, not even recent, like from 5-6 years ago. For some reason she can see what he's doing online, and he's going out to holidays and drinking and being average, and he's saying, this is what she's saying to me, this is what people are doing, but you're not doing that. Why? It's not normal what you're doing. You're making yourself alone. And I looked at her and I said, I know it's not normal. I have no desire to be normal. I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be average. That is average. I want to be so far away from that. I don't want to see it. Averageness makes me, the thought of me being average forever makes me feel physically sick. You have to think that way. I just cannot do it any longer. Be ordinary. I don't want to. Normal, ordinary, average people, most of them are fine with being that way, so that's not a problem for them. But if you desire more, you cannot settle for the mediocrity and be happy and live a happy life. You have to strive for more. So don't be a chicken. You have to be an eagle. You need to get up there. You need to not allow any seeds of doubt or negativity get in the way. You have to persist until completion. And that is one of the most important things to me. And I wasn't going to acknowledge this in a video. I might do another video on it, or I don't know if I want to even give this individual any attention whatsoever. I don't know if it's worthwhile. I don't know if this is an intelligent move or not. I'm going to guess probably not, but I can't help myself from saying it at the moment. But I received my first negative comment. First of all, just before I even acknowledge it, because I don't like acknowledging negativity, but I need to express what's happened so that you know not to let it stop you. So I'm hoping this negativity, I can turn it into a positive aspect instead, so I can take something from it. But first of all, before I even acknowledge any negativity, I just want to thank you all for the positive comments, because I was totally expecting every single comment to be negative about what I've got to say. Because the world is wicked, it really is, in a lot of ways. I don't want to say that. Especially with, well, if most people are average, that is the definition of average, and not successful, the average mind is generally negative. It's a lot easier to be negative than it is to be positive. So I expected that the people watching my videos would possibly leave negative comments and negative feedback, because most of the comments I've ever had in my life from physical reality, not on social media, have been negative ones. Growing up being made fun of for my weight or whatever. I'm not getting emotional or upset about it. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I'm glad that it happened. But because that's happened all my life, I expected it to happen on here. But the majority of the comments, most of them, have been positive, and I just can't believe that they have been. And it says a lot about my audience and the people that want to listen to what I've got to say. They are successful people. They understand. You watching this now, if you're watching this feeling inspired, and you're the kind of person that has been leaving all these positive comments, you are the kind of person that is going to be a success. Because it's different from the norm. You're spreading positivity. That's what the world should be all about. But I would just like to say, if someone did leave a comment, they might not even have meant it negatively. I'm feeling like they did. It came across that way. I don't know why. But on one of my videos entitled The Secret, because I called it that because this is a realization, this is an epiphany on that video that I had, that made me realize that I can no longer subscribe to this average lifestyle. So that to me was like the secret had been revealed, and that's when I started working towards above averageness, to be a success. And that's what I hoped it would inspire other people who watched that video to feel. But this one individual, the only comment on that video, said, "This is what every influencer is saying at the moment, the viewers get it, it's redundant." That's what that person said. Now, I would go as far as to say it is totally not redundant or superfluous in any way, shape or form. I would go to say the opposite. I would go as far as to say, at this moment in time, the way that the world is shaping, now is more an important time than ever. And the way that I responded to him, not in a mean way, if someone's negative to me, I will never be negative to them, but you can test. No, I'm not going to encourage you to test it, not at all. That's why I didn't want to mention it, because I don't want to give any attention to negativity whatsoever. I'm only telling you this now, so people watching this know, if you receive negativity, don't stop anyway. I don't care. You can. Again, I don't want to say this because I feel like people are going to test it, which is why I feel it's not intelligent. But no matter how much negativity is spread on this channel, I promise you now, from the bottom of my heart, sincerely, I will not stop. I do not care in the slightest. Negativity has zero impact on me. My mind has been trained against it so badly that every single person on the planet could leave a negative comment on my video. I could get 8 billion negative comments. I would still make a video every single day. In fact, even more so then, because I know there are 8 billion people watching me. That'd probably be a lot of money. I'd be a success just based off that fact alone. But I'm going down a rabbit hole now. But I would argue, first of all, in the video I said that every single second of every single day is a test to your integrity and your attributes as a person, and that is the secret to success. This person said this comment saying that my message is redundant and trying to get me to, that to me basically says you shouldn't make these videos, no one wants to listen to what you've got to say, redundant, it's not relevant, people don't want to listen. But you leaving that comment on that video and saying that it's redundant is negative, so you clearly don't get it. You're just one of those average people. You are another one of them. And I'm not being negative to you. I don't dislike the person who left that comment. They know no, but I'm not. See, I don't want to mock them or make fun of them either, because they're just a human. I don't blame them. The average man, he's got into their mind. The average man has got into this guy's mind where he feels the need to spread this negative message. And that's why I need to spread the positivity more than ever. That's why your comment is so contradictory. Not making fun of you, but your comment is such a contradiction, because you're saying that my message is redundant and superfluous and not relevant and people don't need to hear it, but at the same time you're spreading negativity when I'm trying to get people to see that to be successful you need to spread positivity. So this person leaving this message is the very person that I'm trying to get through to and explain that to be a success, your integrity needs to be that of positiveness. You leaving that negative comment is what's holding you back from being a success. And the person who left this negative comment, I truly want them to be a success. I don't care if you want to leave I don't care what you think about me. I do not care about any negativity put onto me whatsoever. Whoever puts negativity onto me, I wish them the best. And I'm not saying this in a mocking way. I'm not making fun of them. I'm not saying it for comedic effect. I'm saying it because I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I want every single human to be the best version of themselves that they possibly can be. I don't think negativity is ever the answer. So you can say the video is redundant and superfluous. I'm adding superfluous, you just said redundant. But I would go as far to say that in today's world, it is more important than ever. And the more people that spread this message, the better. Positivity, being a force for good is never a bad thing. It's never redundant, it's never superfluous. It's never going to be the wrong answer. Leaving negative comments on people's videos, it won't stop me, ever. Leave as many as you want, this guy. But it's not going to make you a success, and I want you to be a success. So that's it for today's video. I'm sorry to even mention the negatives. I don't even want to give it any spotlight or attention, but I just thought for this one purpose, it's the first time I've experienced it. To be honest, I'm grateful that it's only one negative comment, because I thought by now I'd have about 25, 30, 40, 50. So one negative comment and about 10 positive ones. The balance is looking good. I like the fact that most people that watch my channel understand that success comes through being a positive person. And I'm trying to make you, I want you to all be successful, and me as well. And another reason it's not redundant, just very lastly, is because right now you can see I'm an ordinary man driving a truck. When I am a millionaire, no matter how long it takes, people will go back to this video and be like, wow, this was his mindset back then. It truly does work. If you think like this all